This is Richard Paul Hobbs at gmail.com, and also POOR, Richard Paul Hobbs, for PRES, in other words, FORPRES, at gmail.com. I'm running for president. I hope that God is leading me. I hope that this is an effort by the Creator God and by Jesus to deliver the United States from the oppression it's getting through the medical community, and how the medical community is doing immoral and illegal things to control our lives, because it's like a official religion of the United States. And the medical community doesn't do what it does based on science. It does it based on its opinion of science. And it has, for many, many generations, harmed us and made us think like it's the solutions to our problems. And there's several aspects to it. First of all, I came to this hospital to get wound care help, and they put me in the hospital. I'm not resisting, but I asked them before they put me, and I explained to them that I have a different diet than most Americans. My diet is based on my religion and my understanding of science, which I learned in the 9th grade and the 10th grade. I know what biology is about. I know what the sodium-potassium pump is. I know that the reason my foot right now is in pain at 10 minutes to 10 in the morning, in the night, is because I have too much sodium in my body, and I went every day for the last 25 years. I have bottles of potassium, and I know if I take 3 potassiums, and if my foot swells normally, and I take 3 potassium pills, within 5 minutes, my foot unswells. And I know I avoid salt. I avoid salt, but I'm able to control my diet. I very seldom eat any salt. In a year, I put in as much salt as the standard American diet puts in a day or a month. And all the major parts of the illnesses that doctors and hospitals make money off of are a result of them not making sure, and us not making sure, that the standard American diet has 23.5 units of potassium for every unit of sodium we put in. That's what the potassium-sodium pump requires. I learned that in biology in the 10th grade. And so did you. You answered a question on a test about the sodium-potassium pump. Now, how come the doctor here, the hospital rules say, I can't do what I've been doing? I'm in the hospital, and I can't use my potassium. So I have to go through all kinds of strange mechanisms to try to put enough potassium in me to stop my foot from hurting. But it's hurting, and I can't bend it, and I can't move it. Last night I went through this whole struggle. They went through a whole process like gods, supposedly following all the rules that the patient rights say I have. But they are violating them. There's not the only hospital that's doing it. Every hospital and nursing home in the United States is doing it. And just because everyone's doing it doesn't mean it's right. And it connects to this coronavirus, because in the biology book and in science, there's plenty of evidence how we can end the coronavirus, stop the coronavirus, and not let it take over the whole country. But the president knows nothing about it. The National Institute of Health knows all about it, but the information can't get up to the president, because the people running, Mr. Trump was elected to end the swamp. But this is the biggest part of the swamp in the world. The Chinese government is causing this coronavirus. They did cause it. And if you understand vitamin C, you can prevent a viral infection from taking place in your body. I know that because I know the science. But the doctors know nothing about the science of vitamin C. They think it's a vitamin. They have no idea it's a antibiotic if you use it in mega doses, many, many grams. They'll give you all the reasons why it's dangerous, and it's not true. You can't poison yourself with vitamin C. It's a water-soluble vitamin. It goes out of your body within 2 hours. There's a long list of chemical reasons why it is an effective cure or prevention of viral infections. But you have to use the whole of it, not a little bit. And the doctors don't understand nutrition. They don't understand the body. Because my foot is swelling, hurting because it's swelling, they don't know it's swelling because they can't feel my foot. But I know it's swelling because the flesh is pressing out against my skin of my foot and it hurts. So they want to give me an aspirin or Tylenol. But the solution is to take 4 or 5 potassiums, 99 milligrams. Because within 5 minutes it'll get absorbed into my stomach. I don't know how it works, but I know that for 25 years I've kept myself from having a swollen foot or healed it within 5 minutes by taking potassium pills. And I eat a diet completely different. There's a lot to it. I'm going to explain it. I've already explained it a dozen times. But if you're talking to people who are ignorant and they're in charge, then you have a problem. Because they think that because they're in charge, they're like gods. And the purpose of the United States was to end government-sponsored religion. And medicine and psychiatry are the official government-sponsored religion of the United States. It's something that we do religiously because we have faith in it. We think it's God's answer to the problems. And then we go on to all the other ungodly ideas that the government promotes, like being proud, which is against every religion in the world, except every religion is proud of itself because they're all corrupt. They're all looking for money. It's all fraud. And we have to stand up for our rights, and that's what I'm doing. And I'm running for president. I'm officially listed. I know I won't get in against Trump this time, but I'm going to spend the next 4 years of my life in the courts suing, bringing out in the courts, exposing what's going on through FOIL and other efforts, and going to the public and making the public aware of the fact that the reason millions of people will die from the coronavirus is because this country worships Satan and calls him Jesus. And the Chinese government worships Satan and calls him Satan. They kill people. The human life has no value in China to the Communist Party. And neither does it have, it's a dictatorship party. This is a dictatorship. Right now, the United States is being dictated to by China. And they control our medicine. Most of the ascorbic acid we have probably comes from China. And they're probably knowing what I'm telling you and making sure it doesn't work. Because Satan, when you worship Satan by cursing and swearing and getting drunk and smoking cigarettes and cursing and swearing and having immoral sex and doing all these immoral things, when you do that, Satan is your God. The Creator God isn't your God. The Creator God didn't create the coronavirus. It's a mutation. It's a destruction. And how do we know that mega doses of vitamin C are effective? Because the dogs get the coronavirus, and their bodies manufacture their own vitamin C. And inevitably, they respond to coronavirus by producing mega doses of vitamin C. That's where orthomolecular science came from. That's where we, 150, 120 years ago, figured this out. And certain doctors, who are considered quacks by the MDs, have used vitamin C as an antibiotic and cured people and cured people and cured people. But the medical community wants to stay ignorant and blind of it. And the federal government and the state governments all want to be blind of it, so they can steal money from the public. And that's what they're doing. The churches tell you to give them their money, and they lie to you about God. If you want to know about God, you don't even need a Bible, but you say, "Dear Creator God, please teach me your truth, amen." And you be sincere. That's all you need to do. I'm not telling you what to believe. Ask, if you want to know about God, ask God. And if you want to know about science, ask an honest scientist that's basing what he's doing on facts, not opinions. And I don't care if you graduated high school, you took a test, and you answered a question about how the body has to have 23.5 units of potassium for every unit of sodium you put in it. And if you don't do that, the sodium-potassium pump will get frustrated trying to make the balance between sodium and potassium on each side of the cell wall. And if it doesn't have enough potassium to do it, it will never succeed. It will become frustrated in 40 years, and people will start having fake diabetes and high blood pressure and other problems that are all caused by this lack of balance of the electrolytes. And the doctors they'll let you go in the hospital and have dialysis, and the food in the hospital is still, instead of 23.5 units of potassium to 1 unit of sodium, it's about 2 units of sodium for every half a unit. It's wrong. It's scientifically wrong. But every doctor in the world, including all the ones that the president worships before and lets them tell him what to do, they are not going to tell us how to not die from the coronavirus. Now, who's our enemy? And the only way we can stop it, we don't have to fight. We don't have to have weapons. We have to stand up and demand our civil rights. And that the government not have medicine and psychiatry as its gods, its religions. They're both fake. They're both based on things developed by humans, not anything else. That's my opinion. 212-470-9154. We're being taken, and I'm giving you facts. Go look in my websites, put my email addresses into YouTube, and you'll find 8 years or more of me explaining how to be healthy without asking you for a dime. I don't want a dime. I don't want you to give me any money so I can be president. I'm going to be the first poor, honest person that's going to become president. And we will shut down all the scams in this country. Talk to me. Learn about it. If you're young, if you're 14, don't do things that are immoral or wrong. If we don't change this within 5 years, we're going to all be zombies. We're almost all zombies right now. Yes, keep social distance. Yes, keep yourself clean. But you can't cure the coronavirus by doing those things. You can cure it by taking mega doses of vitamin C, and the way it's a scavenger chemical. It'll grab all the things that don't belong. I understand how it works. The science books explain how it works. But you've got to not be foolish. You can't just take a gram of vitamin C. It will do you no good. You've got to use it the way it needs to be used. And basically, if you want to avoid the coronavirus, you take 1 gram today, powdered vitamin C, nothing added. Tomorrow you take 2. You add 1 gram every day until you get loose bowels, not diarrhea, loose bowels. It's a response to the antibiotic action. and you cut back 0.5 gram, and you take that every day, and all together at once every day, and you will every day purge your body of an extremely large amount of biotics that don't belong there. And I've explained it in many of my videos. I can't produce a good video right now. I'm in a hospital bed, in a hospital in Arizona. And it's very, very hard. I'm going to try to use the courts to press this issue, but the courts are corrupt. They're a part of the government, and they let the doctors lie to them and do witchcraft and behoove them and tell them all these things, but they won't even let us, they usually won't let us put the doctor up against the wall. But I will, I'll depose them, I'll make them answer in a question, what about the sodium potassium pump? I'll ask them the questions that will show us that they're well-meaning people who don't know what they're doing, but they're using their power to get control of our government and control our lives. And they're being controlled by other people who want to make profit off the same thing.